Welcome back, fellow YouTubers. Yeah, I'm back at Ettalong Beach, ready to leave. So this is the ride part of the video. So yeah, fellow Goldwing there, but I can't hang around. I've got to get going, unfortunately. But yeah, this is Ettalong. Yeah, I might have to write the name on the screen. I just keep forgetting what it's called. So yeah, leaving this beautiful beach spot on the Central Coast. You can see the mountain up ahead. I'm going to go through that. So I'm not sure how much of the video you'll get to see, but we'll only know when I get to do the post. So yeah, you can see to the right there the township that I'm leaving, and directly ahead we've got the mountains. So here we go. I'm just hoping the camera's on the right angle. It doesn't look like it, but I'll find out post edit, because I can't really see it at the moment. So yeah, it's a beautiful mountain. 60 going out. Twisty's dead ahead. So yeah, whoop. It's a little bit on the bumpy side, and there's a couple of hairpins, and because it's a bit rainforesty here, you got the water runoff from the mountains, so you've got to take it easy on the hairpins. But otherwise, take your time, no problem, no hurry. Oh yeah, it is a bumpy road even on a Goldwing. This looks like a bit of a hairpin. Not too bad. Still a hairpin. Yeah, I don't know the road very well, so I can't really tear along it without having enough familiarity, because you never know when that hairpin's going to pop up. I've had to slam on the brakes a few times, so yeah, it's a motorbike. Take it easy on windy roads. And yeah, while this is a kind of sporty tourer, it's certainly more of a tourer obviously, but it can handle twisty roads quite well because of the sports side of the bike. It's a 2018 upwards. They're a bit more lower profile than the previous edition Goldwings. So yeah, they have all their pros and cons, but yeah, I reckon this edition is definitely the most stylish Goldwing anyway. can see myself tearing this up once I get used to it, but the speed limit is also a factor. It's 80 here, 80 kilometers an hour. Ah, lovely day, look at it, beautiful. Yeah, pity you can't see the coastline and the mountains through all these trees, but the trees are nice too. Nothing wrong with trees. Ooh. Yeah, and you got caught a little bit there with this sneaky curve. Oh, look at the view there. That's incredible. Look at that ocean. It's like, yeah. The whole continent is definitely not short of coastline. It's just amazing. I love it. There's beaches upon beaches upon beaches, towns upon towns upon towns. You know, with lots of space in between. You know, it's just amazing stuff. I think I've mentioned in my previous vlogs, a bit of a creeper here, that I want to take the bike around Australia, the circumference. So I'm kind of gearing up for that, working out what emergency equipment I need. You know, as well as getting the time to do it all. But yeah, when I start that, I'll probably end up vlogging the whole thing, because there's lots to see. The flora and fauna changes as you go from the south coast to the north coast, and from the east to the west, I suppose. So in the Northern Territory you get the red sands, the red desert, and somewhere in there you've got Ayers Rock, which is a massive rock slap bang in the middle of Australia. They say when you go to Australia you've got to do the 3 R's as a tourist. So what are the three? Bumpy. So what are the 3 R's? That it's the road, the rock and the reef. So if you can remember that as a tourist, I'm not saying you should actually go out of your way to do all of them, because Australia is a big place. You know, you might only get to see one of them, depending on how much holiday time you've got, or touring time. But yeah, the road is the Great Ocean Road in the state of Victoria. It's a beautiful coastal rainforesty windy road, and the rock is Ayers Rock. That's slap bang in the middle of Australia. It's an amazing massive rock. You used to be able to walk on it. And here comes a first gear hairpin bend. I want to make sure I stay on my side of the road. Yeah, this is really tight, this one. Nice and slow, nothing wrong with that. And then just roar out of it. A couple of Harleys, I think. So yeah, where was I? Road, rock and reef. So we've done the road and the rock. And the reef is, of course, the Great Barrier Reef, which is one of the 7 wonders of the world, although I think there's 8 wonders now. They keep changing it. But yeah, it's one of the wonders. And that's, you know, the Whitsundays and places like Noosa Head. And yeah, I'll be going to see all of those places when I do my around the Australia trip. So looking forward to it. There's nothing like being out and about, and yeah, it's all about the weather too for me. I'm a sun lover, so I can't get enough of the sun. So I'll be timing my journey for the summer period. Although believe it or not, where I am now in the central coast of New South Wales, it's winter. And check it out, clear blue skies. I'm actually hot at the moment. And the further north you go into Australia, like Queensland is, if you're thinking USA, it's the equivalent of Florida. If you're thinking Europe, forget about it. Sorry, there is no equivalent. But yeah, it's Queensland is a bit like Florida. It's luscious rainforest, and the slogan for Queensland, the holiday tourist slogan, is sunny one day, perfect the next, and that just about sums it up. You'll be wearing shorts all year round in the state of Queensland, but as you get further north into the state of New South Wales, you start to get to some of that weather, because New South Wales borders Queensland. But yeah, I'm having fun. I'm actually having a little holiday break at the moment, so I'm staying in a place called Ettalong. I'm not sure where they are, but they're not quite at the crossing. Yeah, so I'm staying at a place called Ettalong, which it's another beautiful beach town, and I'm out exploring. So these are my little sneak previews before I get to do the big trip. So what I tend to do now, especially with the pandemic, I look on the heat map to see whether a beach town that I want to visit has any active infections. And this one has 0 infections, so I thought it's relatively safe, although I'm not keen on the idea of staying at a hotel, but I've done my best to stay away from people, basically. You know, I don't even eat out to limit my exposure as much as possible, because let's face it, if you're going to go to a hotel, you're going to be in contact with more people, and then there's more risk of infection. So yeah, these are tough times. The government wants to get our economy up and moving again, so like every government would. So in Australia we have what's called a containment strategy. So I know this has got nothing to do with the Goldwing, but anyway, I'll just babble on. So with the pandemic, there's 3 strategies that a country can adopt. There's probably more if you think about it, but 3 main ones. There's the elimination strategy, then there's the containment strategy, which is what we've got here in Australia, and then there's a herd immunity strategy, which countries like Sweden are doing. In my opinion, the herd immunity strategy is just callous. You're basically saying you don't care who dies, even though the death rate is higher than the flu, because the COVID-19 is not the flu. It's a virus basically, but not the flu, and its death rate is higher than the flu. So what the social distancing is all about, of course, is saving lives. And if you're going to have a herd immunity strategy, which is a do almost nothing strategy and let people die, you're putting the economy first. And to me, that's quite a callous thing to do, when you consider that a lot of us can work from home, and those that can work from home should work from home, and that those that can't should practice social distancing as much as possible. So anyway, those that went for the herd immunity either did it by accident, like Britain, because they weren't prepared, or they did it deliberately, like Sweden, have had the highest death rates. So you can look that up, you don't have to take my word for it. And then Australia's doing very well with the containment strategy, so is New Zealand. In fact, New Zealand's done so well with the containment strategy that they're talking about switching to the elimination strategy, which is where you simply lock everything down until you have 0 infections. And you keep it locked down for, I don't know, 2 or 3 months. And if there are no more infections, you've pretty much eliminated it. And you can reopen your economy. And if you do that hard enough and fast enough, it may even be a better economic outcome than trying to do a containment strategy when it's too late. It's certainly going to save lives, but yeah, what do you put first, the economy or people's lives? You know, in my book, that's a no-brainer. So I think if you adopt the containment strategy early enough, then it will work. And sorry, I've got to turn here, I think. And if it goes well, you could switch from a containment strategy to an elimination strategy just by keeping your borders closed and keeping up social distancing. And then once you've done that, just lock your country borders and reopen the whole economy. So yeah, anyway, it's something to think about. I should be talking about Goldwing and the beautiful weather, not the pandemic. It's affecting all of us at the moment. So I've got to turn right here. Don't know why, because I've missed a turn. But yeah, the more I ride this bike, the more I can't get enough of it. Just get used to it. I'm still struggling a bit with the slow manoeuvring, but they say practice makes perfect. So yeah, you don't want to get your feet on slippery ground when you're trying to put your foot down after a slow manoeuvre and stuff like that. So I can slow manoeuvre okay, it's just about clutch control mostly, clutch and brake. Oh, look at this dude, does he want the whole road? Yeah, so slow manoeuvring, it's a heavy bike. It's about half a ton should I say, that metric version. And yeah, you don't want to get it off balance. But yeah, I'm approaching my hotel now, so there's just across the road from some beachfront. So yeah, thanks for joining me. See you in the next one.